Hey, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Olivia and I'm a gender affirming voice teacher. And it is January 2024. Happy New Year. A fresh start. I love a fresh new year. There's so much hope. There's so much ahead. There's also so much time avoiding going outdoors if you live in a cold climate. So anyway, in the spirit of the new year, I'm doing a series this month that I am calling the Building Blocks of Vocal Feminization. This is the first installment of the series, and the idea here is just to kind of get you started on vocal feminization if this is one of your goals for the year. And I'm going to be giving you some tools, some information, some exercises so that you can kind of get yourself started moving toward that goal of vocal feminization. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to kind of prepare yourself emotionally before you get started, and also how you can kind of take care of yourself throughout the process. I'm also going to share some ways to care for your voice. So ways to keep your voice healthy, some ways to keep your voice sustainable all throughout your life. I'm also going to talk about some ways that you can make practicing a habit so that you're always incrementally moving towards your goal. Okay, let's get into it. Working on vocal feminization is going to be an emotional process. There's no getting around that, really. If you struggle with your voice, perhaps with vocal dysphoria, or it's really hard for you to have those feelings in your body associated with your voice, or listen back to recordings with your voice, those can be challenging emotions. You might also start to feel some euphoria. You might start to feel some real joy when you start to make changes with your voice. So there's a lot of ups and downs that can come, especially because voice training is not always linear. It's not just like greatest. Sometimes you're gonna have setbacks, and you might have periods where you feel like you're plateauing or feeling like you don't have the endurance in your voice that you want to. So it takes time to get where you wanna be. So I want to share some ways that I think are really helpful in kind of getting in touch with your emotions, acknowledging them, and moving through them. The first way is journaling. So journaling is something that I have really enjoyed in my life. It's also something I can feel that I resist because I know that I really feel things when I'm journaling. And I know that sometimes I'm just avoiding some of the feelings that I have about stuff. But I do feel like if you are wanting to work through something, it's a great way to do it. There's a really wonderful book called The Artist's Way, and I can link it below. And it's basically a workbook for people who are creative, which is everyone, arguably, to kind of get back into their creative roots. So a lot of times, you might feel like you're stuck in a rut. I'm a songwriter, and so sometimes I really get stuck in a rut where I'm not writing for a long time. Again, kind of putting that out of my mind, not wanting to deal with feelings, because when I do write songs, I really am processing what I'm feeling. But anyway, in the book, that's kind of, you're moving toward coming back to your creativity. The first thing that she recommends is to write what she calls artist pages. And these are basically just writing 3 pages of stream of consciousness journaling every morning. And I think the idea is basically, you get up in the morning, you're stressed about the day, you're worried about, a meeting you have later, or, whatever is weighing on you. And you just do a stream of consciousness journal. Usually it takes about 30 minutes for me to do 3 pages. And then you just kind of let it out. You've kind of released a little bit of what is weighing on you. And the idea is not to write something beautiful or have it be, so meaningful. It's like, I'm gonna have oatmeal for breakfast and I don't really want oats because I have oatmeal every day. Whatever it is, whatever's on your mind, let it out. So this could be a way to just kind of flush some stuff out, feel a little lighter, and just get some emotional juices flowing. Another great thing to get started emotionally is to really figure out why you want to work toward this goal. So you might be thinking to yourself, I'll be happy once I meet my goal. Once I get to this goal, my voice is perfect, I'll be fine. So while it's great to have that goal, of course, you want to move toward that thing that you really want in your life. But it's also good to reflect and really get clear about what all this really means to you. Why is this so meaningful for you? What is it about your voice that doesn't feel like it's you? So you can, again, do this in a notebook, in a journal or something, but you could ask yourself something like, how do I feel about my voice today? Or what would my authentic voice feel like? How do I feel about making a commitment to working toward my goal? What would it feel like if I never worked on my voice? And you might ask yourself, who am I actually voice training for? So of course it's great to have goals. But there's gonna come a time where you're gonna say to yourself, I don't really feel like practicing today. Because it's really hard to build a habit. But if you remember, you know what? If I continue to do this, I know that it's going to allow me to be seen as I am with the people that I meet. So think about whatever that is for you and write it down. Writing affirmations is another great way to kind of support yourself along this journey. It's easy to get stuck in this kind of negative feedback loop when you are struggling with something that you don't love about yourself. And affirmations, basically are positive things that you're saying about yourself. So writing affirmations could feel silly to you or it can feel challenging, but they actually can really help shift your mindset. If you're nervous about voice training, or maybe you're convinced that you won't be able to do it, you've somehow convinced yourself you're not capable, you can turn those things around. You can switch that belief, and that's going to help you move forward in your training and not get as discouraged along the way. So first, I want you to write 5 to 10 negative beliefs that you have about yourself and about, your voice. These are not the affirmations, okay? We're going to turn them into affirmations. So I have a couple of examples here that I want to share with you, and just to kind of show you how you can turn them into affirmations. I can't change my voice. I'll never be comfortable with my voice. My voice feels heavy and boomy. All I can do is a fake feminine sound. Everything I try is a failure. So we're going to turn these negative beliefs and turn them into affirmations. So I can't really change my voice would turn into I am ready and capable for deep change. I'll never feel comfortable with my voice could turn into I am comfortable and confident with my voice. My voice feels heavy and boomy could turn into my voice is light and floaty. All I can do is a fake feminine voice could turn into my voice flows from me naturally. And everything I try is a failure could turn into when I try something new, it's a success. So you can write these down in a journal. You could do it every morning. You could do the same affirmations, do those with your artist pages. You could also write new ones every day. If some different negative thoughts are coming up, you could turn them in to affirmations and go with those for the day. So give these affirmations a try. So next we're going to talk about how to care for your voice. So just a couple simple things that are really imperative for your voice. The first is hydration. So drinking roughly 64 ounces of water or half your body weight in ounces of water every day is really important for the health of your voice. Your voice develops a sticky mucus around the vocal cords if you're dehydrated. And you can't just drink a little bit before you start practicing and expect your voice to be hydrated. You really need to be drinking water all throughout the day to get the benefits of that hydration. So when you're hydrated, you thin that mucus out so it makes it just easier for your vocal cords to vibrate. So that is a simple way that you can get started taking really good care of your voice right away. If you're a coffee drinker or an alcohol drinker, make sure that you are drinking water to counteract that as well. Okay, you're gonna think I'm insane, but here's this massive 64-ounce water bottle that I have. Honestly, I find that this really helps me to get in 64 ounces of water because I know exactly, okay, when I finish this bottle, I'm done for the day. Because I tend to kind of forget how much water I've had, like how many of these smaller water bottles have I had? I don't know. So this for me is just helpful mentally. So you can try that, or you could do like a reminder on your phone or something like that, where it's like, okay, every time I set the reminder 6 times a day, and I make sure that I drink a glass of water, or whatever works for you, but get in those 64 OZ. So the next way that you can care for your voice is by doing vocal warm-ups. Vocal warm-ups are so important for the voice, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm obsessed with SOVT exercises, and for good reason, okay? So for vocal warm-ups, I encourage you to use a glass of water and a straw, and it's a simple exercise. You just close your lips around the straw, and you blow in, blowing bubbles, and at the same time, you hum. So it's important to make sure that the bubbles are continuously bubbling so that you know that there is consistent breath flow. That's really important. Because our lips are mostly closed, we get back pressure. We got pressure coming up from the lungs, air coming back at the vocal cords, and this creates this kind of cushion around the vocal cords, which makes it really easy and gentle for the voice. So really a vocal warm-up for this would be a minute or two just gliding up and down, or holding long tones, just doing the same thing. So I've linked below a couple different follow-along warm-ups, a 5-minute warm-up that offers you a little bit of stretching and stuff too, and then a 1-minute follow-along warm-up just with the straw in the water. So this is something that you can do every morning. I would definitely encourage you to do it 3 times a day for a couple minutes, morning, maybe afternoon and evening, to kind of reset your voice each time. So finally, I'm going to talk about creating practice habits. Okay, it is hard to create a new habit. So if you're taking lessons or you're learning from videos like this online, you can, spend time learning those things. But if you're not practicing consistently in between, it's going to be really hard to make progress. It's like going to the gym and building muscle, because your voice is a muscle. So you can't just go to the gym like once every 2 weeks and expect to have some shift in your body composition or whatever. So in order to help you build this practice habit, this month, of course, I'm putting out this series, these 5 videos, but I'm also doing a 2-minute vocal challenge. So this challenge is basically, I'm putting out a video every day in the month of January. I'm going to be putting out a YouTube short, and it's also going to be posted on TikTok as well if you prefer that platform. But if you go to the link in my bio, you can download the PDF tracker, which basically you are checking off that you've watched the video for 1 minute and you've learned something about vocal feminization, and that you have warmed up that day for 1 minute. So you can also track if you've had 64 ounces of water every day, or if you've watched these longer form videos, which you can check that off right away. So click the link down in this description. It's totally free to get the PDF tracker. So the idea behind this challenge is based on something I read in Atomic Habits, which is the book by James Clear. And he talks about the 2-minute rule, where basically in order to start building a habit, one of his ideas is to just do the thing for 2 minutes a day. So it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Incremental change is this idea of atomic habits, and I think that really ties in well with vocal feminization, because obviously you can't practice for 2 hours one day. Your voice is going to get real tired, so you have to be in shorter increments more frequently. So by building this habit, even if it's just a minute of warm up and watching a video to learn something new, this is going to become a habit. Like, oh, I've got to do my voice practice every single day. And from there, once you kind of build that habit, you can expand, that it's in your head. Okay, every day I do my voice practice. Maybe in the month of January, you'll start doing 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but that it will always become a part of your life moving forward. I think it's also cool to be a part of a community, doing a challenge together. So I want to hear from you how it's going. And accountability is a wonderful thing when it comes to building habits. So join the community of people doing the 2-minute challenge this January. So your homework for this week, yes, you have homework, okay? You've got to go down in the description, download my PDF tracker. You've got to watch a video, 1-minute video every day here on YouTube or on TikTok. They're the same video, by the way. You've got to warm up for 1 minute per day. You can check it off. It's going to be very satisfying to check off. You've got your journaling that you can do. You can start to do your artist pages to let some things go in the morning. If you don't do it absolutely every single day, that's okay. But if you start to kind of get the juices flowing with the journaling, that's great. Answer those reflection questions I talked about earlier. Those are going to be down in the description as well. And write down those negative beliefs that you switch into positive affirmations and add that to your journaling habit. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you join me in this challenge and that you take this opportunity. January 2024. Did I say 2023 earlier? I don't know. 2024 is your year. Okay, so join me. Let me know how it's going for you down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.